Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back, and it is time for another Probot Starcraft 2 cast. Today we are on the map Submarine 5.0.6, and we have got two special bots here. In the bottom right, we have got JensiiiBot. Always thankful to Elad Yanniv01 for creating the map analyzer used by JensiiiBot, which would be something that's probably worth reading up more on. But for now, we're just here to watch, not to read. So in the top left, we have got Eris. I hope I'm pronouncing that one right. I don't believe I have commentated this bot before. So always a pleasure to be casting a new bot. There's a lot of bots out there, and I know that I tend to cast some of the ones that are... I tend to cast a few bots more than others. Of course, that's because some of the bots are incredibly well developed and worth seeing a lot of. Other bots are... Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a good reason. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too far into this cast, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button. Let's try and hit let's go for 52 likes on this video. There's our ambitious goal. JensiiiBot with the little thinking emote. I do enjoy JensiiiBot's emotes, and just JensiiiBot in general. Probably one of my more favorite bots that I've seen, just due to the nature of how it plays. Probably because it looks more like standard play. That being said, that doesn't necessarily make it the best designed bot, because obviously a robot doesn't have to look, well, a bot doesn't have to look like a human player to necessarily mean that it's good. There's a lot of behavior that bots can do that humans can't necessarily do. And anyway, enough of that rambling. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the bell gang if you haven't. As we watch, there's going to be quite a few lings being made by Eris. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. Just going to be looking to get a bit of a cheeky cheese off on JensiiiBot. We'll see how well JensiiiBot's going to have walled this, whether the bot's got a good reaction or not to a big old ling flood. Of course, there is a Reaper moving out on the map, and this could tip JensiiiBot off. This is really going to be a good test for the bot to be like, for example, okay, JensiiiBot definitely knows after seeing all of these Zerglings from ErisBot, that should be fairly simple to add up and be like, yeah, that's danger. So we do see a bunker on the way here for JensiiiBot. I enjoy seeing that. Interestingly enough, JensiiiBot is actually still just... Did JensiiiBot cancel its command center? Okay, I'm not often one to... oh my god! No, I'm not often one just to say full-on abandoned ship or anything, or to rewind a game, but JensiiiBot straight up just cancels its CC. That is pretty extreme behavior there from JensiiiBot. Oh my gosh, by rights, Iris's cheese has almost done enough damage this game. Yeah, Terrans, even when they're getting cheesed, really rely on that natural-based command center. And if we look at how far back it is for these lings are for Iris, that command center absolutely could have finished, I feel. And so, definitely an overreaction by JensiiiBot. This wall still hasn't been raised as well. You gotta be careful here, JensiiiBot. Do not die. You need to raise that wall. There we have it. JensiiiBot sheds the tear. I really do love the text from JensiiiBot. We've got Marines starting to go into the bunker. Iris, interestingly enough, I think is just going back into mining gas, but isn't going to have a baneling nest or anything, so really no way to break this wall. The lings are kind of just going to dawdle around, and Iris will just have to go into macro, but like I said before, the damage was kind of already done, based off the fact that the natural base of Jensi was straight up cancelled, and that's a big deal. This is a total random tangent here, ladies and gentlemen, but if you would like to see me do some matches against the bots just for the fun of it, just to sort of showcase what it's like to play against them, go ahead and let me know, and maybe we'll make that happen one day. JensiiiBot continuously producing units. In theory, at some point, these Marines will just be able to handle the Lings as Iris is bleeding off. Actually, a huge number. Like, the Lings haven't really killed anything, and Iris has bled off 22 of them just by running them back and forth over this position. We see JensiiiBot now looking to move out, get that natural base up, albeit much later than originally planned. IrisBot is going to be getting up a lair, getting up another extractor. We'll see what the play is going to be. Yeah, it's been a while, I feel, since I've seen a ZergBot go MUTAS. So if it is going to be MUTAS from Iris, that would be really cool. We see 4 gases going up, so that's really all this is pointing towards, as a matter of fact. So that's really cool. I think MUTAS are an interesting case study as far as how well you can make a bot control them, how efficient they can really be with the damage they get done, because of course, when you're playing Zerg, when you're using MUTAS, you've got the option, okay, do I try and use these to shut down drops? Do I use these to harass? Or do I use these to try and whittle away at the main Terran force that's going to be poking me? And so programming that behavior into a bot is going to be something that's real interesting. Of course, there's always the option. You could basically just literally send out a few MUTAS for harassment. I think that would be something interesting to explore. For example, imagine just one MUTA runs in with its high speed, starts working on SCVs. If your opponent doesn't have a proper response for that programmed, all of a sudden, it could be a lot of damage getting done. Sort of similar to how JensiiiBot kind of does its 12 Marine stim snipe on bases. It's just a very deliberate attack plan that there might not be the best responses programmed by the bot authors. Changeling does get sniped away by JensiiiBot. Interesting to note that bots can detect those. JensiiiBot with a smiley face. I'd really like to know the triggers that JensiiiBot has for when it's like, yeah, now's a good time for a smiley face. It is scouting out with this Marine. I wonder if that's it. Interestingly enough, for Iris, there is no creep spread, so that seems to be a feature in this bot that is just not. Yeah, more Lings, MUTAS are now on the way, but yeah, that's actually quite curious. The lack of creep spread at all. Extra Queens are on the way now, so we may be getting to the point which creep spread will start happening. An interesting Overlord conglomeration, by the way. These Overlords have found the high ground, I think. Like, if we look at this Overlord positioning down here, it actually looks like they're all just chilling on high ground. So Iris seems to have this bot programmed for the... Although this one's not really on the high ground. But these ones, like, it looks like that's technically a high ground spot, is it not? So is that. So is that, and so is that. I wonder if that's part of this bot's behavior to seek out the high ground like that. Anyway, MUTAS are doing stuff while I get distracted by the Overlord placement of IrisBot. We see the MUTA control by Iris seems to be rather interesting. Actually going to split them up into multiple groups. This is cool. I mean, there's literally unlimited micro potential by these MUTAs. They're kind of just fanning out, and it's not easy to react. Like this would actually be a nightmare to play against if you're a human player, just because you literally can't out micro a bot. In this case, it looks like the MUTAs are attacking. They're not getting the most efficient damage done, mainly hitting that supply depot. I'm not sure how many SCVs have died, only 7, so really not that many. But still, the MUTAs, of course, are still alive. They're now coming towards the third base. JensiiiBot is investing in a couple of turrets now. But yeah, we see JensiiiBot not splitting its army appropriately to deal with this. There's not even stim yet for JensiiiBot. That's actually an absurdly late stim pack for the Terran. And yeah, these MUTAs are actually just being controlled incredibly well by Iris. There is Vikings out for JensiiiBot, which are zoning the MUTAs away, starting to pick them off. I believe that's the first MUTA to go down, which actually really speaks to the control and micro of this bot. We see, yeah, the Vikings working away on the MUTAs, but then, yeah, they're just so darn good at retreating that it's not easy to kill them. All the while behind this, Iris, no joke, just throws up a Hydra Den, a Roach Warren. Burrow, we're seeing flyer attack, muscular augments, all the while JensiiiBot throws down the smiley face. I'm not really sure what that one's about. More turrets have been built by JensiiiBot, but not really at the natural base or anything like that. And the third base is actually about to go down by JensiiiBot, so really great control here. by Iris, getting the damage done with those mutas. The Vikings, of course, starting to pick off a few, but JensiiiBot not repairing that orbital command. It's actually just going to burn down. That is a huge, huge loss there. And I'm rather concerned here for JensiiiBot. It seems that out of all the games that I've watched of JensiiiBot tends to do better when it's the bot that's in control. As yeah, right now trying to deal with these mutas, it is just not doing that well. As yeah, we see a turret is up, gonna kill off that muta. Mutas are starting to die, but it's getting to the point which it's like, okay, JensiiiBot I think is pretty much just gonna have to all in here and pray. And an all-in very well could work for JensiiiBot in this position, as of course there is no banelings, as Starcraft bots don't really make banelings. Tanks are going to find this Nidus network that's being called on in. Mutas are still flying around, still giving a lot of grief here to JensiiiBot. JensiiiBot seems to have repelled the mutas for the most part. As I say that, though, a Nidus is getting called in towards the north of the natural base. JensiiiBot not reacting to this, as a matter of fact. I guess busy trying to deal with whatever's on the front. There's that Nidus, though. Ling's gonna start spilling out, and all of a sudden this map is starting to look like chaos. This is bad news bears here for JensiiiBot. Keep in mind the third base is already dead. It's being rebuilt, but the SCV count has really fallen. JensiiiBot's macro is just fallen to pieces, it looks like. I mean, the Marines are gonna trade out incredibly well against these Lings, against these Roaches. But at the same time, if JensiiiBot's just gonna sit back here and just get whittled down to death, I'm really not sure if there's a way that JensiiiBot can win this game. See, it drops the happy face. It knows something good happened, but at the same time, not good. Not good indeed. And these Marines not even cleaning up the Nidus worm is just, oh gosh, that is not good. They're also stimming a ton. There's only a handful of medivacs, 2 medivacs quite literally, to heal up all these Marines. The muta count that belongs to Iris has now been completely nuked, so at least JensiiiBot doesn't have to worry about those. But of course, the rate in which Iris's army is growing, whereas JensiiiBot's army is really just not. JensiiiBot's not really mining at all, not dropping mules, floating a lot of energy on this orbital command. And yeah, the best time to attack for JensiiiBot, I feel, was like 2, 3, 5 minutes ago or so, as this situation has just been getting worse and worse. We're seeing a situation which a bot does not have the depth that's really needed to play from this position. Although it does make you wonder why there's no mule usage here by JensiiiBot. Like, that would be something that would be fairly easy to do. Like, the command center's over 200, drop some mules, you'd think. But instead, JensiiiBot's just gonna be derping out a little bit. That would, I think, be one of the interesting... Okay, Iris giving us a heads up. Setting up a flank, please keep your army still. Initial flank groups in position, moving to next phase. Okay, Iris gonna be coming from multiple positions. Saying that's a flank, kind of is. Really great corrosive biles going down, though. Didn't even see there were Ravagers added, but yeah, it does look like Iris is going for a flank. It says flanking procedure complete, and I think it's pretty much GG complete at this point. As I was just musing there of what would be some of the funnest parts, I think, of programming a bot. I think obviously unit movement and stuff would be something that would be fun. At the same time, though, I feel that just trying to set up a bot that runs like a really tight economy would be a strong way to go. Now we take a look here. There is Vikings working away on that Overseer. GG gets called. Iris is going to be the victor as JensiiiBot taps out. Well played by IrisBot. I had some doubts at the start, but in the end, it really bloomed like a beautiful flower in the sun. Anyway, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, which is linked down below. There's also a link down below, or you can use that join button if you want to become a member, support more of these botcasts. That would be greatly appreciated, any support to the channel. But I'll see you guys next time. Hope you have a wonderful day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Take care now.